Okay, I'm not going to be dramatic, but I'm turning off my space heater so that it's a better sound for you. But I will then be cold, so you're welcome. Alright guys, today we are talking about little tweaks that you can make in your life that will make a big impact. So little things on your end, but over time will compound into big changes in your life. Let's go ahead and dive into these. Okay, the first tweak is to give yourself a bedtime. I think lots of times people talk about wake up, they talk about morning routine, they talk about like waking up at early, how to wake up earlier and all this stuff, and then a lot of people neglect bedtime in the evening routine, and I think that it's really just as important. I've shared with you guys before, I have a very specific bedtime and a very specific wake up time, and I keep it very consistent. Every single day I go to bed at the same time and I wake up the same time every day, and that is because our bodies function on something called the circadian rhythm. And circadian rhythm basically is a 24-hour cycle that's built into our body, and it helps with a lot of just like basic essential functioning in our body, but most notably most of us know about it because of the sleep-wake cycle. It's what helps align our awakefulness with daytime, with sunlight, with alertfulness, and nighttime, dark, the sun is gone, melatonin, and now we're going to sleep. One of the best things you can do for your circadian rhythm is stay consistent, because it's what helps the circadian rhythm do its thing. So this means if you're going to bed at different times every night, you're waking up at different times every morning, it's really hard for that circadian rhythm to get into its flow, for it to do its thing that it's trying to naturally do for you. So yes, I go to bed at the same time every single night. I mean, it varies. Like I have a 30-minute window that I go to bed in. It's somewhere between 9:50 and 10:20, and I wake up at exactly 5:05 every morning. Why 5:05 and not 5 o'clock? I don't know. 5:05 just seems better to me. So this is going to help, one, obviously, like I just said, with the circadian rhythm, but I think another reason it's really important to give yourself a bedtime for those of us who don't is sometimes that nighttime like wind down, it just will go forever, right? If it's a night where you're watching TV, you're going to have one more episode, and then one more episode, you're reading, you're going to read one more chapter. We tend to let our nights get away from us. And then obviously, if we're not having a bedtime, not only is it messing with the circadian rhythm, but if we're not following a bedtime, then we're probably going to bed later than we want to anyways. So consider giving yourself a bedtime. This is going to tell you when that last episode needs to be, when you need to be heading upstairs if you want time for a shower before bed or whatever. Just the little tweak of having a specific, it can be a 30-minute window, like I said, that you're going to bed at night is going to make your evening routine a lot more seamless and easy, and thus will impact to make you have better mornings as well. Okay, number 2 is to consider trying to pay it forward at least once every single day. And pay it forward, obviously, is just like doing a random act of kindness for somebody. And this doesn't need to be monumental. It can be holding the door for someone, going out of your way to make sure you're like making eye contact and smiling with somebody when they ring you out at the grocery store, dropping cookies off at your neighbor. If you're thinking of somebody, text them and let them know that you're thinking of them, or checking in on somebody. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you're kind and compassionate and useful, and thus the person that you are performing the random act of kindness for is going to feel special. They're going to feel acknowledged, and it's a total win-win for both parties. I recently read the book Everyday Ubuntu, which I think I'm pronouncing correctly. I once looked up how to pronounce it and now I've forgotten. But this book is so good, and it essentially explains the philosophy of Ubuntu, which means I am because you are. It's the idea that a person needs to look outward, acknowledging the humanity in others, and that every person is connected and equally valuable because of their humanity. We all share this thing called humanity, and thus we're all connected to one another. And by just this simple shift of looking outward and looking at people this way, you find it almost impossible not to perform little random acts of kindness, to not want to slightly reach out to a stranger as you're passing them on the street, to want to make eye contact. You're looking at everybody not necessarily as, comparison or competition, which society has kind of made us do with people, but instead just looking at everybody else as another human being. And so why is paying it forward so great? Like I said before, when you pay it forward, it makes you feel good. It gives you a feeling of being useful and purposeful, and everybody needs that feeling of being useful, of being purposeful. But I also think that if you're somebody who respects other people and you go out of your way to respect others, no matter who they are, you are far more likely to then respect yourself. And plus, at the end of the day, I think that, we really need to be working as society on just putting more good out there. The more good that we can put out into the world, however tiny and little it is going to ripple into bigger and bigger things. Tweak number 3 is to start meal planning for the week. If you don't already do this, I cannot tell you how much of a game changer meal planning is for me. I take about 10 or 15 minutes on a Sunday. I write down what we are eating, what days we are eating it, and then I'm able to make my grocery list for that week. Typically, I will go ahead and just place my order for my groceries all at the same time, and it just takes away the mental load every day of what's going to be for dinner. You no longer really have to worry about it. You're taking a few minutes on a Sunday to take care of that problem for you for the rest of the week. It makes my week flow easier. It makes it easier for me to stay on top of my meals. It makes it about 100 times more likely that I'm not going to order takeout because I forgot to defrost something, or I forgot what we were going to cook, or I didn't know what we were going to cook. It's just this little tweak that I've made to my weekly routine. And actually today's video is sponsored by ButcherBox, which makes my meal planning really fits into my meal planning super seamlessly. So ButcherBox delivers 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, pork, and wild-caught seafood directly to your doorstep. They have super flexible boxes and different ship frequencies so that I can get whatever meat I want to stock up on in my freezer. And then on Sundays, I can just take a look at what ButcherBox stuff I have, and then I can plan my meals around this for the week. The thing that I really like about ButcherBox is that you're getting high-quality meat. Like I said, it's 100% grass-fed beef. It's pork that is humanely raised and crate-free. It's wild-caught seafood. So it's a purchase that I honestly just feel really good about. I've shared with you guys before that I spent 15 years of my life as a vegetarian, and so even though now I eat meat again, I like purchasing from a company that cares about the animals, the farmers, the planet. And all in all, I just feel like ButcherBox gives me access to really high quality meats at an affordable price. You never pay for shipping, and you're getting it delivered right to your doorstep, saving you time and saving you money.
Check out the link in my description box for a special offer that ButcherBox is running right now.
Tweak number 4 to make to your life is to stop hitting the snooze button. I've preached to you guys about this before, but in case you've missed it, there is zero benefit to your life in hitting the snooze button, and yet many of us continue to do it morning after morning after morning. Now, let me just phrase it in a way that I feel like makes it impossible for you ever to want to hit the snooze button again. When have you ever hit the snooze button, slept those extra 8 minutes or whatever, and then felt better? You don't. And now you're also forcing yourself to go through that awful feeling of being woken from your sleep cycle twice, or if you're somebody who snoozes 3 times or 4 times or whatever. If you really think about it this way, nobody wants to wake up in the morning. Nobody is woken from their sleep cycle by the sound of an alarm and just wakes up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I have been waking up early for the last 10 years of my life, and it still doesn't really always happen. Certainly my body has gotten a lot used to it. Lots of times I actually wake up before my alarm because I'm waking up at the same exact time every day. My body's kind of just primed for it. But I'm still tired, right? Would I like to close my eyes and go back to bed? Lots of times, yes. So when your alarm goes off, it's a little bit of picking the lesser of two evils. You can either hear your alarm, be woken from your sleep, hit snooze, fall asleep again, hear the alarm again, have to get woken from your sleep, you're still tired, maybe you snooze again, you sleep 8 more minutes, now you're being awoken again for the 3rd time, you're still just as tired as you were the first time, you're scrolling social media for a few minutes, and now you've wasted 30 minutes not really feeling any more rested than had you just gotten up. Or you can hear your alarm, wake up, feel tired, force yourself out of bed, and just start the day. At the end of the day, most of us are not going to feel like getting up when our alarm goes off, no matter what. Right? It doesn't matter whether you sleep for 10 more minutes or you scroll your phone for 10 more minutes when you're in bed. You're never gonna feel like it. There's not some magic moment that's coming. So the best thing you really could do for yourself is when that alarm goes off, just immediately force yourself up and out of bed. I've gotten into the habit, I hear my alarm, I'm like, oh my God, I would love to keep sleeping. I'm like, no, Callie, up and out of bed, and I just force it. I force those feet to the ground, and by the time you're up and you're standing, your momentum has started. How is this little tweak gonna change your life? Well, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but think about it this way. If you're somebody who hits the snooze even one time, you're wasting about 8 to 12 minutes of your day every single day. That's an hour every single week of your life just wasted, not helping you feel any more rested or getting any more awake. And if you snooze more times than that, or you are a social media scroller in the morning, you are wasting literally hours every single week. All right, tweak number 5 is to put down the phone. We are all addicted to our phones. You don't need to feel bad admitting it. I'll admit it. We're all addicted to these things. And it's because, honestly, they're designed for us to be addicted to them. And I think we can all agree, you know, there's definitely benefits to our life if we decide to find ways to use our phone less. I know that I'm way more productive when I'm not using my phone. I know I'm a more attentive listener when I'm talking to my husband, when I'm not trying to like also watch a video on social media. I am a much more responsive parent when I am in the middle of watching my 2 children, when I don't have to worry about my phone taking away my distraction. I'm much more present in the moments with my kids. There are just so many little benefits to learning to use your phone less. Now, this doesn't mean I want you to look at your phone like it's the devil. The phone does a lot for us. It acts as a lifeline, both figuratively and literally. Not to mention that I've basically built my business partially from my phone. So, you know, I can't just say this thing sucks, I'm going to get rid of it forever. Phones have done a lot to better our lives, and while the makers and engineers behind them may be taking advantage of our reliance on them, you can't put blame on the phone itself. I think the goal just comes down to us learning how to use our phones more purposefully and with more intent. So for me, it's not about saying I'm not going to use my phone anymore. I'm going to like stress over my screen time and look every week to see how many hours I spend on everything. It's not really about that. Me, it's just more about learning to use my phone with more intention. I get into the habit of asking myself, why am I picking up my phone? If the answer is, well, I'm picking up my phone because my husband just texted me and he needs an answer to something, it's a pretty valid reason to be picking up my phone. Or I'm picking up my phone to add something to my grocery list. I'm picking up my phone to answer a phone call, to respond to an email that's urgent and needs to be responded to right now. These are all very intentional, meaningful, and purposeful reasons that I'm using my phone. But if I am hanging out with my kids and it's towards the end of the day and I'm sort of tired and bored and I pick up my phone and I'm like, why am I picking up my phone? And the answer is because I'm bored and I'm going to just scroll Instagram. There's really no intention behind doing that that's going to add any value to my life. So it's just the little tweak of not necessarily using the phone less or limiting your screen time. It's just about being more intentional and asking yourself the why before you pick up your phone. Tweak number 6 is to listen to upbeat music. I have gotten very, very into creating very curated playlists, which I will share some of them with you down below. I'm sorry, but upbeat music can totally change your mood. This is a hack. I feel like I've always known it, right? Everybody knows like good music is going to put you in a good mood. But I had created a very specific playlist for when I was pregnant with my second child. I'd created a labor playlist with my first, and I actually found it. I didn't think I was going to use it, but then I actually was very reliant on that playlist when I was in labor. I'm one of those people that like really kind of goes into my own little bubble when I'm going through that process, and so I liked that I could put on the headphones and I was kind of just like in my own space. And so I created a very specific playlist of just like really good, I feel good, I got this kind of music for when I went into labor with my second, and again was very reliant on it. It's what I listened to basically the entire time I labored, the drive up to the hospital, like basically was listening to it up until it was like time to push. And then I found that I was using that playlist a ton after she was born, because now I brought home a newborn into a house with a toddler during a global pandemic, and there was just lots of days where I felt stressed. I felt like I wasn't going to get through the day. I was just feeling totally overwhelmed, and I would put on the playlist lots of times in like the mid-afternoon when I needed a little pick-me-up, and it completely would change my mood. And I use it all the time now. I would say almost every single night as we're sort of getting ready for that dinner time rush. The kids are kind of hungry, the kids are kind of tired, I'm tired. You put on a little upbeat playlist and we have a little dance party in the kitchen. It is just such a mood changer, and it's been this little tweak of just having these access to these little playlists that are like upbeat and happy has been so helpful to me. Tweak number 7, and the final tweak for this video, is to switch out your coffee for tea. And what I mean by this tweak is that I am totally and completely joking. I would never get up coffee. I don't think that tea is better than coffee. It's fine if you like tea and you think it's good, but anything that ever told me to give up coffee, I just stop. That's where I'm like, it's a hard no. All right, my friends, that does it for this video. Some 6 little tweaks, seeing as the 7th one really wasn't anything you should be tweaking. 6 little tweaks, little tiny things that you can do to your day every single day that overall are going to compound and make big changes in your life. Don't forget, I have a link in my description box down below for ButcherBox. It's going to give you access to really high quality meat at an affordable price. You are never going to pay for shipping, and you're going to get this all delivered right to your doorstep, saving you time and money. They have super flexible boxes with different ship frequencies. You're going to be able to stock up your freezer with meat that you feel really, really good about. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope you are having a fantastic day, and I will see you all